Change that.
Louder because backside.
Okay, so let me know if you cannot hear me, please raise your hands. So the idea that I was trying to tell is to build a strong and larger India-Korea corridor, and how can we benefit people like y'all who are building your own company to get access into the Indian market. I think that is one of the key components of it. And I don't have an agenda, so please feel free to ask me more questions as we progress. And that will kind of be valuable rather than being a one-side monologue. How many startup founders here? Raise your hands. How many people doing startups? Okay. And everybody else, are you all engineering background, business background? Okay, academics, education. Okay, good. So, Naintara, please a minute about your background and introduction before I get started.
Thank you, Mr. Rama. 안녕하십니까, 여러분. 반갑습니다. 저는 인도 상관에서 렌타라입니다. 저희가 2등 소기관입니다. I am handling the whole spectrum of issues related with economics, finance, investment, trade, commerce, export, import, everything in our embassy. It's been 3 years for me right now in Korea, and I'm looking forward to 2 more years. As far as startups are concerned, it's a very, very exciting time in India and Korea for the startup. A very good chunk of the public policy direction as well as resources are being put to this area, which is never before in India, and the same case is in Korea. Platform like India-Korea Economic Development, in which private parties are coming together to provide a platform to develop for startup, is one side, and there are some government-related efforts also in the side regarding the startup development. I want to quote one of the which Indian government and Korea government is planning is also there is called India-Korea Startup Center, and it's in offing. It would be funded by the government. It would be based in India. It's the modalities, the contours, the terms and conditions are being finalized. But I would encourage to keep in touch with me for any further updates, and of course with Mr. Rama regarding this platform. I would encourage not only see in Korea what could be the prospect for your startup, but seen outside, beyond also, in India specifically. Wish you all the best. I'll give the mic now to Mr. Rama to go ahead.
Thank you. Thanks, Nandara. So, a quick background about myself, and then I will ask you all, what is it that you all want me to talk about, right? And I'll focus on that. My background has been engineering, mostly in telecom and network. I work for companies like Ericsson, I don't know if you all know, Motorola, Cisco, Cognitronics. I have helped set up engineering and development centers for Polycom in India. I have been a startup leader for the last 10 to 12 years in India. I advise multiple state governments. I am an advisor to the state of Assam, which is a large state in northeast of India. I am also on the Commonwealth Youth Governing Board for Malaysia. I was part of the leadership at T-Hub, which is India's largest incubator, and we are making it the world's largest incubator anywhere. Apart from that, I am in the blockchain space for the last 2 years, and we are building India's first and only protocol layer, blockchain protocol, right? So I have filed multiple patents, and today I'm considered a thought leader in the blockchain space, and I get invited to speak in a lot of events like Techonomy, BitGosu, key platform where I've come here to speak day before. So that's a quick background about myself. I will kind of wait to kind of hear what would you like me to talk about. Would you want me to talk about India, about startups there, or you want to understand more about how to go to India, like market access or blockchain? So what do you want me to talk about?
Yeah, I want to hear what's going on in the blockchain area in India.
Okay,
Basically.
blockchain in India, yes. What else?
I'd like to hear about some status of the success in a story as for that the startup entrepreneurship in India. I mean, because the average in the 3 to 5 years is actually within that 3 or 5 years that all startup is actually failed.
Right.
Yeah. So, what about that in India?
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, got it. Yeah, startups and what is their mortality rate? What is the average? Some more questions, please. Feel free. I mean, there is nothing like a bad question or a bad thing, so feel free to ask. Yeah.
Yeah, what Korean assets can they leverage in the Indian startup ecosystem?
Tough and hard question from Steve all the time, but good question. Yeah.
If I may also add.
Please.
There is no such any direct connection in which both Korean startup as well as the Indian startup can stick together and work. But I think there are few private organization companies in specifically, they are providing some platform, some kind of challenges and some program in which they invite abroad startups.
Yeah.
If you have something in that mind in India also, please enlighten us.
Where Korean startups can.
Yes,
Perfect,
exactly.
perfect. So I think good questions to I'll start, and then if you have more questions, I'll be happy to take it. Let me start with the startup angle and how to leverage, the accelerators and stuff like that. One thing is, I'll start with, what ma'am asked. I think even in India, or for that matter, any place in the world, startups, I think you should get to some level of traction, maybe like in 1.5, 2 years. I think till that point, you should have figured out your MVP, your product market fit, your basic customer interaction. I mean, the general principle applies everywhere. Don't wait too long. Don't try to build too much. Build some, show some. Build some, show some. See if there is someone who is interested in your product, who is ready to buy. Not like free, not like my uncle and cousins who will use it just because I went and pestered them. But some real customers, even if they don't pay, it is okay. But they are real users. That will tell you that what you are making, is it welcomed in the market or not. So I think go with the principle. Even if you want to shorten the circle, it's great. Don't wait for long, right? Because if you have to fail fast. These are very, very standard stuff across the globe. Fail fast, it is okay to fail. Go to the next idea. Don't try to be too passionate about your product or startup. Have some amount of balance between passion and be dispassionate. So when you're dispassionate, you put a lens of a merchant. Is this good? How much does it weigh? How much dollar, right? So that's how you need to have a balance and an imbalance for your, a balance between being passionate and dispassionate. So I think some of the same rules apply everywhere, including India. And what I've seen is good startups get to that point in 2 years' time, where they are attracting angel investment, pre-series A, and they are kind of, taking off nicely. Obviously, there are some people who are beyond the rule. There are exceptions, where some companies, because they are doing deep research, either in microbiology, or they are doing something in nanomaterials, graphene, or something else. It's not a tech, cloud, SaaS kind of thing. It will take more time. But generally, if you are not able to do something with your startup in the first 18 months, then there is a problem. Either there is a problem with the space, with the tech, or there is a problem with you. And it's okay. You just have to accept it that maybe I am not the best person, then I should get the best person, like team up with them, get other founders, get the team, and maybe they are better off. Or if I can't solve it, then maybe I should go do something else. Maybe the space is right, but I can't crack it for whatever reason. So you should be open to that idea that you are not the best person to solve all the problems in the world, right? So you need to figure out, based on your background, what skills you are strong at. Are you a tech guy? Are you a business guy? Are you an operations guy? And if suppose the answer is, you know what, I'm not good at any of it, then also it's okay. Then what it means is get founders who will get a tick mark for all of that. So you are putting together the team that will help build you the tech, get a CEO, and you should be open to not be the CEO as well. See, this is something I keep seeing everywhere, including India. My company, my startup. I am the CEO, right? Business card, president, CEO. You should be a businessman. You should make money. It's okay if you are not the CEO. It's okay if you are not the president. You should give it to other people who are good at it, right? And you should be whatever, like, chief mentor, like gardener. Doesn't matter, because you are doing right what is right for the business. So I think this is because we are like humans. We get very passionate, and we hold things tight. Right. So I think the same problems I see everywhere. And one of the things from an international access, what we have done at eHub is we do delegations of startups that come from Canada, from Israel, and Israel is a small country, right? I guess much smaller than Korea. So they don't have market, so they come to places like India and China. China is very tough. They will not allow anybody to go, and it is very tough. You have to be Chinese, you have to be based there, and nobody is invited. So I think people look at India, people look at Europe. So a lot of Israeli startups who are in defense, who are in agriculture, they have done very well in India. So I think depending on what you guys are trying to think about, India could be a very good space to go attack. And what I and Derek, we have been trying to put together is the platform which will allow you all to kind of come to India and work like in an incubator like this. So you don't need to worry about how do you get your visa, how much to stay, get a local team, get a local partner, all of that, right? Because it is very tough. It is very tough for Indian startup to come here, and it is the same the other way around. So we are trying to fix some of that, and here Nayantara is here from the Indian Embassy to also kind of listen to us and help. What can we do more, right? So from an India standpoint, we are there to help. That is the whole messaging and idea. So that's on that. I'll come back more on that. Let me take the other question on blockchain. Anybody else on blockchain? How much interest on blockchain?
What do you mean by on blockchain?
Sorry?
What do you mean by on blockchain? Like investors or researchers?
No, generally. I mean, I wanted to understand what should I speak about. So in blockchain, are you guys building a company on blockchain? Are you interested? Or do you invest in cryptocurrencies?
Most of them.
All of them?
Most of them.
Most of them? How many people invest in cryptocurrencies? I mean, come on, it's okay. Yeah. I'm told every second, third person, exactly, every second, third person invest in crypto, so it's fine. I mean, I know the market is down, but so I think obviously, see, there is a difference, right? One is blockchain and one is cryptocurrencies. So most people mix the two. It's used interchangeably, which it is not. Blockchain is like any other technology, like Oracle database, client server. There is no crypto about it. It is just a distributed ledger technology that can be deployed to any companies. People will pay for it. You build a product, you go to market like a startup, right? So that is blockchain. Cryptocurrencies are a way to raise fast capital. To raise capital which doesn't have any strings attached, so you're not diluting equity or there's no equity attachment. And there are exchanges on which it gets traded. But I think wherever there is easy money, I think it becomes it also attracts a lot of scamsters. So that is what has happened with cryptocurrencies as well. Because a lot of people are paying money, so a lot of people have started random projects. So that's what has happened. So I think obviously you should do your research before you invest in cryptocurrencies. That is the first thing. On blockchain, as I mentioned, that I am the president and CTO of 1101, India's largest blockchain project, and we are looking at an IEO, which is the new trend rather than ICO. So we are talking to the top 4 or 5 exchanges globally and seeing what terms will work for us before we do the IEO. We are strategically partnered and invested with Tech Mahindra, which is the IT arm of Mahindra Group, which is the owner of SsangYong Motors. They are a very huge group in India, probably the 3 big chaebols from India, right? So we want to look at the enterprise market, Fortune 2000 corporates. That's the target market segment for us, right? So I guess that was that question. Any more questions around the same lines or other lines? Professor Jong, anything you want to? You will ask tough question. You don't ask. You? Okay.
One question about the entrepreneurial culture in India.
Okay.
How does it compare to China? Do you have that?
So I think now the kids coming out of colleges, they are ready to take more risk. They are okay to fail. I think the parents still don't like it. The parents want them to like get a job in a big company like a Samsung or a Hyundai, and then get married and settle down, right? That is the Indian tradition. I think, but now they are okay that, okay, take 1 or 2 years risk, you do your startup. If you fail, you fail. Then you go find a job. Then I will tell you, you go marry and settle down. So I think that culture has changed, that people are now okay if you are doing a startup, if you are doing your own company. The parents have now become a little flexible because they now hear a lot. In terms of China, I think China is a much larger market. So people who move fast there, they are able to capture a large thing. But now today there are Indian companies that are large unicorns that are going to Chinese market, Australian market, US, Canada and all. I don't know if you all have heard of Ola or Oyo. So Ola is like the Uber competitor. So Ola is bigger than Uber in India. So Ola is now going to US, Australia, other countries. So it is becoming larger and larger. Uber wanted to acquire them, but they said no. So like how Uber acquired Didi. So that's what is happening. There is a lot of big unicorns being created. And there is a lot of investment that is coming from China now, like from Tencent, Alibaba, Baidu. There is also investment coming from Japan, like Rakuten has now started investing. All of these people have big funds. Now they are looking at, because India is like the next China in terms of the next, 50 unicorns that will come out of there. So I think that's what people are betting on.
How does India think about foreigners, especially foreign platforms, coming in and dominating the market?
Like give an example.
Unlike China, one thing I noticed in Korea is that most of the social media platforms are Facebook, YouTube, and things like that.
Yeah.
Developed in the West.
Yeah.
But when you look at China, none of those things exist.
Yes.
Local companies become huge platforms. They can actually big enough,
Yes.
strong enough
Yes.
to go abroad
Yeah.
and start expanding outside. I don't know how India.
So India is kind of
this kind of strategy.
doesn't have a rule book. I mean, we take whatever is the best platform, whether it comes from Western or Eastern, doesn't matter. So for example, we don't clamp down, or we don't say that, you know what, Facebook and Google should not come, I will have my own, internet giants. That doesn't happen. Like if people want to use Google, let them use. If people want to use WhatsApp, let them use. If people want to use WeChat, let them use. If people want to use Kakao, let them use, right? So India is very open and flexible. I think it depends on who wants to make India a serious marketplace to go after. For example, there is no reason if Kakao comes and builds their infrastructure and is able to attract, people will all move to Kakao.
So there's no market saturation or something.
There is no market saturation,
We have
and
dominance.
India is a market where if a newer guy is better,